Hey guys, it's Rebo here. Once again, it's I feel like it's been a very, very long time since I've done anything on YouTube. I've probably got that feeling because it has been a long time. I just have not had time to do any of the YouTube stuff. Damn, that color is almost exactly the background. Wow, I picked that out pretty well. But that is not what I want. I think I just lost my train of thought. I must never do that again. Never again. It has been a long time. I have not had time to do the whole YouTube thing, editing videos, writing scripts for videos, you know. It's time consuming, and my time is already completely taken up. Like, I wish I could say that my time is not completely taken up and that I have free time. Boy, do I not have free time. Anyway, I thought I would try doing a new type of video that required no scripting. So I'm just, this is just me talking. Got no script in front of me, honest. Basically a super easy video. That'll probably be quite a long video, where it's just me drawing something and I'll just talk as I draw. And I mean, that sounds like a perfectly reasonable idea. So we should probably get into something. I thought for this series, maybe I would try and draw something animal related, I guess. I like animals. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go online and I'm gonna find a random animal generator that exists. That's pretty good. So you can actually select how many animals you want to generate here, so we could like create a chimera or something like that. That'd be pretty cool. For this first one I might just stick to one creature, and I might try and make something interesting out of that, you know? A puma. There you go, a puma. That's an actual animal. Okay, let's get some pictures of a puma. Alright, now we have some reference images of pumas. You know, I'm not super experienced in big cats, but, you know, you gotta say, they're pretty beautiful animals. Let's be honest. Just look at this guy. These guys. Females? They could be. I don't know. I didn't check. What do you think I asked them? I ain't rude like that. They can identify as whatever they want. So, what are we gonna create? We've got pumas to work off of. I think we could go with just a standard, old school sort of minotaur type thing, you know? It's a humanoid with an animal head, like an Egyptian god style. Ancient Egyptian, of course. You know, Anubis style. So let's try and get something interesting. Male or female? I think we should probably, I mean, I feel like we should start with female, but who knows? Let's go with female. Let's do that. So, all right. We want to start with a sketch. Let's get something fairly simple. Got a head up here. What's the shape of the head? It's not particularly long. I think a lot of people will start drawing these types of animals and give them really long heads, but they don't have very long heads. If you look at the size here, it's actually a very short head, especially in comparison to the rest of the body. There's a heck of a lot of the rest of the body here. The head, pretty short. These aren't Tyrannosaurus, you know. They don't have giant, huge heads. So it comes down kind of like this. So we come up with the fairly short nose, and the chin kind of sticks out a little bit. Maybe not so much. things back a bit. With a prominent jaw that seems to come back here. And the ever-present cat's ears. Alright, not so bad. We want a fairly thick neck. I know a lot of let's say furry illustrators will draw their characters with sort of an animal head, and then everything below that is human, including the neck. They give them like human necks like that, you know, which is a bit odd. In my opinion, it seems a bit strange, just because the animal's head, the skull, is gonna connect to the neck up here, not down here like a human skull. Which means the neck should come out the back and come down. But that makes it a lot less human and a lot more animalistic. I'm already tripping over my own words, and it's barely even started. So we get some shoulders in there, fairly wide shoulders. I imagine most big cats. Although, to be fair, the shoulders do not seem wide here, but I think it's because we've got the shoulder blades up here, and then they come inwards, and then the arms come out. But that is not particularly going to work on a humanoid body, you know? So, even a female is going to have fairly wide shoulders. Fairly strong upper body. Because it's a cat, you know? Cats are strong. I will give her some nice hips to counteract the width of her shoulders. Now I think her brow is a little bit deeper than I originally meant for it to be. I gotta get used to using the back of this, what do you call it? I just call it a pen, the Cintiq pen. The tablet pen, you know. See, I keep going over here to click my eraser, but I've got the back of the pen. But it doesn't work as well. I'm just gonna use the eraser. I've never liked using the back of the pen. Got that jawline. And Pumas do not have... They're very smooth sides of faces there. It's not... it comes out like that. It's not like... I think when you would draw, say, a tiger or something, you would give him a sort of, you know... The fur would come out like that. And make them look like they have something like a beard or something, you know. Very, very majestic, very kingly. But I think for most other cats, the face is very rounded. Much unlike wolves and dogs, which do have quite sharp, pointed jaw fur. Not jaw bones, of course. So... let's see, I keep moving to this side because I've just moved all my tools to the right hand side of the screen for this video. I'm gonna have to try and get used to it, but it makes sense to have everything here because I'm right-handed, so it's immediately on hand. Instead of having to move all the way over to there, but I'm so used to moving all the way over to there that I'm just doing it anyway. So yeah, I'll have to get unused to it. Let's see now. I don't know if we'll do a full body. We might just do cut off at the legs there. Or we'll do a tasteful cut off, where we'll have it cut off by the tail coming around here like that. Yeah. It's a round tail, isn't it? Yeah. It's quite a long round tail. It seems to be thicker at the start. So let's try and represent that. Just fairly rough, because we can go over this again. It's the beauty of working digitally. You can just keep adding layers and going over it as many times as you need to. So if this is the more or less the pose we're going for, I think we'll have the legs come all the way down now, because we don't need to do the tasteful cutoff. Let's just make that brush a little bit bigger. Cut it off there. I do actually, I say you can just add as many layers as you want, but I do actually quite like erasing and working on a single layer and just trying to get that sketch right, as opposed to going over it over and over again to get it right. You can do that, and it's probably the smarter thing to do. I don't like doing it very much. I do actually quite like erasing. To try and get it right, and I like the effect that gets left behind with the light erasing, where you can just sort of see almost ghosts of lines that used to be there. I quite like that. So let's see now. I think we'll put some boobs on this thing, because I mean, how would we possibly know it's a female if it didn't have boobs? Right? Am I right? But how many do we put on? That's the thing. We'll stick with the, I think we'll just stick with the standard. Now, she's an impressive girl, this one, so let's not, what's the word I'm looking for? I hate it when my mind just goes blank. You know, I'm trying to think of a really good phrase to use, and it's just not coming to mind. I know exactly which phrase I mean, I just don't know which phrase I mean. Never mind. We won't go lightly. I'll use that as a backup phrase for now. Let's just slap some of those on there. Slightly waving to the side. She's turned around a little bit. She's in mid movement. They always are. And we'll get those, and then the chest comes out here. Let's get that erase again. Try and get those nice shaped. Where would the peak of these breasts lie? By that, of course, I mean the nipple. If they're swaying slightly this way, then it's not going to be over here. So it's going to be somewhat central. It's swaying slightly. But it's not going to be on this side. I see that a lot. Yeah, it was the game on the Steam game on Steam, obviously. Honey Pop, I think it was called. It came out a while back. I quite enjoyed it, just because I didn't really have much experience in that kind of puzzle game at that point. So, and I did want to get into them, just because it seemed like a nice pastime. So that one was nice. That was a nice excuse to see some boobs now and then. Not that I need an excuse, but you know. If if you have one. But in that game, a lot of the art, they would have them on the side, and they would have the nipple come out here, right? And it's like, no, that's not where it's not going to be on the side, because that would imply that it's over here, right? That's just not at all correct. So we're just going to have vague implications. This is YouTube. We're not going to actually draw the whole thing. Damn it, okay? Don't get too excited. This is YouTube. We're just going to have implications of what we all know is there. And isn't that better than just having it thrown in your face? I think so. Boobs can take a lot of work to draw because you really want to get them looking like they have some real mass to them, you know? Real mass. Really massive boobs. I mean... I don't care too much for boob size. I don't know why I'm on this topic now. Probably not the smartest topic to be on, but there you go. That's what we're working on at the moment. So let's just quickly move past that. Alright. Let's get some arms in here. We want to put some basic points of notice for some arms. It's coming down here. Chest. Some abdominal implications. Hips. I'm saying implications. I'm not sure that that's the word I'm meaning to use. What am I meaning to use? Indication. Indication is what I mean. I keep saying implication. I mean indication. Widen those hips out a little bit. Just for the fun of it. Just for the hell of it, you know? And then make them dig in there a little bit. A little bit of digging in because the hips will come like this, right? And then the bone starts here. Like that. Vaguely. Don't, yeah, or whatever. So let's see. Got those abs. I do quite like drawing abdominal muscles. This area here is quite nice. It's quite pleasant to just work on because it's so simple. It's really just 3 lines: one here, and one here. But you know, it's getting those lines placed correctly and with the right emphasis in the right places. It really makes it work. You know, if you just put a bunch of squares here, you got nothing going there. It's not going to work out for you. Let's see. Let's get some shoulders. I like drawing shoulders as well. Shoulders, I quite like shoulders. Big, strong shoulders. I like a woman who can carry me in her big, strong arms. Because I'm just a small, weak man. This woman's a fierce one. She might not be. She might look like this, but be a huge softie. I can tell you what's soft. It's a racer. I love it. This one's slightly drooping a little further than the other one. You see, I keep coming back to the breasts. I do this a lot whenever I'm drawing. I really want to get the breasts the right shape, and I'm certain that I seldom do, you know. I'm not going to pretend that I'm a master. I'm not. But I do my best. And I like to spend time trying to do my best. Get that indication of a nipple there. And let's go back to this arm. So, she looks like she probably got some big arms. Do that like that. Boom. with a bit of muscle. Is that too big? Oh, probably not. Probably not. If she's supposed to be a sort of Minotaurian type character, then I think bigger is better. You know, we don't want it to be a house cat girl. She's a wild one. She's out there hunting, defending territory, and all the other things that wild cats do. Big cats. I don't think cats are particularly native to the UK. I mean, domestic cats are plenty. I do think they have wild cats in Scotland, though. Big old, you know, obviously not Puma big or anything, but bigger than domestic cats. I think they look like domestic cats, but they're bigger and floofier. There's a big old arm. That arm looks a little short. I mean, the elbow should always be coinciding more or less with the top of the hips here. So that's not quite right. Although she is raising her shoulder up quite a bit. Maybe it could still be a little longer, that upper arm. So we're gonna slice this out. Whoops. And just bring it down slightly. And it would be hidden behind a tail, mind you. So I think we might just erase that entirely. It's good to erase. It's good to change our minds on poses. That's fine. That is not an issue. We're going to, I keep going over that. We're going to pull her over here slightly to give us a little bit more room. We can actually pull it down because we've got plenty of room underneath. And we want it more or less. Boom. Okay. So it's going to be over here. And we're going to pull her arm up here so that it's not hidden by her tail. I am not afraid of drawing hands. I actually love drawing hands. It's one of my favorite things to draw. Feet a little less. I'm not as good at feet because I haven't really done any major foot studies yet. But there was a while where I really started studying hands and structure of hands pretty severely. I mean, I've been studying hands for a while. Drawing of hands, you know, I don't mean academic studies or anything like that. No. Just studying how to draw them, because everyone always says, oh, hands are so hard to draw, you know. So I decided, okay, well, I don't want to have that problem. So I'll just learn how to draw hands, so that I'm good at it. Let's see. So there we have the bicep is on the underside. I think the bicep would slice through there, wouldn't it? Would cause some deformation. It's always the difficulty of drawing muscular characters. It's very unclear which muscles would overpower the others when things are folding like this. I want this to be here. So, yeah, I guess, going to hand this way, that means the inner one is a lump, and I guess that's that, and that's like that. Either way, it doesn't matter too much. So let's see. She's holding a hand, excuse me. She's holding her hand slightly inwards like this. Bounces out here. you go. You can get the general shape of a hand pretty easily. It's not that hard. It's more or less a box. It's not that's a box. And the thumb is over there on the opposite side. It's not a bad idea to draw the opposite side of the hand at the same time, just to sort of get an idea of what you're doing, you know? And that's the palm on the other side, more or less. We can have the thumb coming out over here. Just gonna have claws on these hands. I think some of my viewers will start to notice that I've got a thing for drawing clawed hands. We'll get those. We'll establish where those knuckles are, just so as we know, and then get some fingers. Those are big hands. It's good. Want those fingers there. Let's look at this other hand. It's kind of leaning. I think this one's the right length, more or less. It's leaning away from us, so we're gonna have some perspective tricks going on there. Not prospective tricks. I was gonna say trips. A little bit of water to wet that throat. Get us back into shape. I do get distracted in the middle of drawing, you know. I'll be drawing, you'll probably have noticed by now, I'll be drawing an arm, and then I'll be like, let's look at this face. Let's just focus on the arm now, okay? Let's just stay in one place for now. Now, I was about to make a big mistake there. You saw I was about to do the bicep like this, yeah? That's totally wrong. That is not how the bicep works. The bicep starts underneath the arm and comes up like this. This is the back of the arm. What is the muscle called at the back of the arm? I can't remember off the top of my head, and I don't want to say the wrong thing. Maybe tricep or something. Don't quote me on that, because I really don't know. I know a bunch of names for muscles, but I cannot think right now which one goes where. This here is the back muscle, and the bicep comes down like this and joins in the middle of the arm from this angle. So we don't need that many lines, but it's good to just establish for ourselves, okay, where the muscles go. That's how it's gonna look. Boom, like that. And then have it like that because it's facing away from us. Is that perspective too aggressive? I'm not sure. Let's have a little flip. It's not so bad. I think it's all right. I think it'll fly. I think we can go with that. More or less. Either way, if we finish it up and it looks terrible, we can change it very easily. Let's take a look now. We'll flip it back. Let's erase some lines over here. We'll erase some unnecessary lines over here and turn those into more. You see on here the bicep comes in like this. The bicep begins at about this spot over here, comes in, which is why it ends up looking like it's over the top. So when you flex your muscles, it's your bicep that looks like it's on the top, but when you think about it, that's actually the inside of your arm. If you put your arm down by your side, your bicep is touching your chest. It's on the inside. We'll have the hand over here coming down. With the fingers, it's a little too long. Coming out like this. And this is where the thumb goes. Coming out like that. And more finger indication there. Indication. It's a good word, indication, not implication. Yeah, more or less, that's a pretty fair shape. Very, very fair shape. Now let's get some details in here, okay? Let's work on this face. We want to look at these Puma's faces. This one has yellow eyes, this one has, they look grey-blue. Like steely grey-blue. Very, very Lucerne. So let's have a look. No, I think the nose is fine. It comes out. It actually comes pretty far down, doesn't it? If we look here. And there's a cheek section right under the eye. Right under the eye. So this is pretty much all cheek right here. See how it looked? Doesn't come all the way back, it's sort of here. Right. These ears, Puma's ears are not pointed, they are rounded. So let's make sure they're nice and round on the top there. A bit of feather. Cat's ears always have this sort of this nick in the side, this sort of bend. It's quite interesting. It's unclear why it does that. And the fur is on the inside. We'll put this one like this. It's not looking too bad. A little bit more indication. Unnecessary there. I have to see. This might be interesting. Because when they draw minotaurs, you know, Yorzators even, they often do the fur going all the way down the back to the tail and then all the way down the chest, because it's usually a big, muscly dude with a big, hairy chest. So why don't we just sort of throw those gender norms out the window? Bye, guys. Sorry. We don't need you right now. And give our Puma lady a big old furry chest. The problem is Puma do not have very long fur, so it wouldn't come out like this, you know. It would it depends where the fur cuts off. Like you could easily obstruct the nipple, with some fur and keep it coming all the way down here. And at that point, it looks more or less quite similar to how I design my Lucerne and Ursan from my comic Hawkeye. Not that I want to plug my comics too hard, but this is my channel after all. There's no reason we couldn't have. Just fade that out a little bit. You see, a second ago I was going to put details on the face and now I got distracted with the chest. It happens, okay? Sometimes you look in a woman in the face and you get distracted by a chest, alright? It happens to everyone. You can't, you know, it's inevitable. It's going to happen to you right now. I mean, if the conditions are ideal, of course. Let's have a look at this face then. Let's not get distracted. We'll get a smaller brush. Where are those eyes? They're fairly high up. They have quite a long nose, don't they? Quite Impressive nose. Are we sure that these are both pumas? Because they look quite different. Is one like a cougar or something? Are those the same thing? Who knows? Because they have different shaped nose and different... It looks like they have different shaped faces. Like these three look like the same thing, but this one looks quite different. Anyway, we'll look at the top one. It's got an eye thing, one of those eye things coming out right down here. The eyes are nice and round. Let's have a look. The nose goes downwards. It's more like this. So let's look at that a little closer. That's quite some significant darkness around the eyes, isn't it? And it comes out like this. But we are drawing a Puma type monster. We're not drawing a monster musume, okay? We're not drawing a furry lady. Well, we are drawing a furry lady, but we're not drawing a furry lady, if that makes sense. So we don't necessarily, or even remotely, want her to look cute and waifu-ish. We don't care about that. That's not important. We want her to look like a monster. Although if she looks like a kitty cat monster, then give her a big kitty cat smile. Oh, she's got chubby cheeks. No, she doesn't. Cats always look like they have that sort of proud, fatherly type smile, unless they're looking like this one who looks a little bit pissed. But like these two on the top, they look like they've got that proud smile, just a slight smile, like, I saw what you did, and I'm proud of you, son. Simba, I saw what you did, Simba. You killed me. It was you, Simba. It was you all along. Scar did nothing wrong. So let's take a look. And it's very white. See, that's the other thing. This one's white starting from there, whereas this one's white all the way around. Maybe different gender? I don't think the gender would have that much diversity. So it's white around there. With all this going on. The cats always have a lot of very long whiskers. And of course, she does have a small head compared to the rest of her body, as cats do. Although in this case the head might be too small. Let's take a look and see if it doesn't improve the overall silhouette if we increase the size of the head a little bit. Just a little bit. Not too much. Oh yeah, that's not... certainly hasn't damaged it, has it? Maybe even... see, that's when it starts to get a little too much. Then she's getting a little head heavy. I think that's more... I think that's about right. I think we can work with that. Let's just try and stick that back onto there. Just graft it back on. It's fine. It's fine, she'll live. There we go. absolutely unnoticeable. No one would ever know that you've had a horrific head transplant of your own head. That would be quite unfortunate if you were to have a head transplant and they just took off your old head and then stuck it back on. It's like, well, you haven't improved anything. If anything, the situation has just been aggravated. Who even gave you your doctoring license? What? Also, why are we in this back alley? Let's get some fingers going on here. Look at these fingers. First try on these hands. Yep. I will absolutely boast about my ability to draw hands as much as I can, because I'm very, very proud of the fact that I can draw hands fairly quickly. Usually. Sometimes I'm having an off day, but sometimes we all have off days. And at that point, it doesn't matter how good you are at drawing. If it's just not gonna happen, it's just not gonna happen. And there's not a goddamn thing you can really do about it. Better just draw something different, or not even draw at all. Why not? Sometimes you can just take a day off. Refresh. Oftentimes, if you find yourself unable to draw something that you're usually able to draw very easily, it probably means you need to take a day off. That's probably a sign that you're at the end of your reserve, and you probably need a solid day off. Now look at that hand. Isn't that good? Isn't that good? That's alright. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. I've done better. Let's have a look. Like, the fur is much denser on the underbody, actually, so we could probably... Let's, you know... Is there any more details around the face? They have these interesting cheek delineations on their fur coloring that come out sort of like that, don't they? Like that, more or less. Quite interesting. And the fur's lighter around the eye, and then gets darker to form this line. So that's quite it. And they have a line right down the middle. I think that's probably not actual coloration, that line down the middle of his head, and that's probably just the fur is coming up each side towards each other, and then it meets in the middle and overlaps, creating a double thickness of fur. That's probably it. I don't know. You think I've ever seen a puma and gone up and asked it how its fur works? No. Would he even answer? Would he? Probably wouldn't even give me the time of day. Got better things to do. I think with cats, they have these stretches of skin in between their limbs, which people don't really have. You know, it'd be like if the skin came all the way down to there. I don't think we need to do that. I don't think that's really gonna add very much. I think we can... If anything, it's probably gonna make her look like she's got wings or something, and we don't need to confuse the viewer that much. I mean, the viewer's probably already gonna be fairly confused looking at this. There'll be all kinds of mixed reactions. And that's fine. It's a monster. You're not meant to look at a monster and be like, oh, that's nice. I'd probably take her out to dinner. Him out to dinner. Hey, we're not sexist. There we go. That's a fairly feline face now. I think it's a little longer than the average puma face. I made it a little bit longer. You see? And it's much shorter. This one's more closer to a domestic cat. In fact, if you just looked at this face, you could think it was a domestic cat. I think this one's a bit closer to a lion or something. I think lions usually have slightly longer faces. I'm not sure. Tigers not so much, maybe? Not sure. I think cheetahs definitely have very, very short faces. Anyhow, let's take a look at how we're gonna get this fur. It's gonna be coming down the sides here. I'm gonna give it a little bit of side boob because, well, because we can. And right down to the navel. She's got a furry belly. And now we need to put some indication of breast on this fur. Indication. It's a good word. Indication. I like that word. It's going to be much deeper at the bottom there. Deeper. It's a good word. Let me just stop. I could do that for hours. And define some more of those muscles. Add some definition. It's a good word. Definition. Whew. Okay. It's not looking too bad. The good thing is pumas don't have any peculiar colorations of any kind. You know, they don't have spots or stripes or the in-between of those patches. And as we can see here, the fur is much longer on the underside as it gets further and further down the body. Thin up here, gets longer and longer and longer down here. So we're going to do the same. It's going to be thin up here, longer and longer and longer. So it's going to be longer down here, which means it's going to cover up anything that is not YouTube friendly. It's not advertiser friendly, you know? So let's have a look. Add some fur right there. Just slap it right in there. Right in there. Just slap that fur right between her legs. Right between her legs. Just put it right there. You know how to do it. I'm not ashamed. I'm proud. I'm proud of what I've done today. Don't need it to go so far. We don't need it to go all that way. There we go. Now it's a PG-13 Puma lady. You know, a real cougar, this one. Careful, boys and girls, mostly boys. She's coming for you. So that tail, we're gonna add a little bit of fur. The tails are round, but that doesn't mean they're not still fur. So I'm just gonna go like that. Add some fur on there. Very nice, very nice. How do the tails look? They do have a dark end on the tail, don't they? Yeah, a little dark patch on the end of the tail. And, well, we're not sure about that one. So a little dark patch on the end of the tail. Just add a bit of naughty shading right there. It's naughty shading. Very, very inappropriate. And yet, so appropriate. It sort of goes on the back. It almost looks like there's shading stripes here. Do you see? So I might just do that. Find the back here. Back of the tail. darker towards the end so that we can lighten them up. And that's not too bad, that's not too bad. With a bit of just deepen those indications of muscles. Indications. It's a good word. Muscles. Very nice. Very nice. It's a good word, very. Use it more often, very. Everything is very. So that's how you do that joke. That's how you do that joke correctly. You say a phrase, and it has an important word in the phrase, and then you say it's a good word, and then you say something other than the important word. You know. For example, I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example, but I don't have one off the top of my head. That's quite annoying. You know. That's the word I was looking for. Quite. There you go. That was my example. It's not funny. It's not even remotely funny. It's just stupid, and that's what makes me laugh. Let's a little bit on the shoulders there. You gotta make those shoulders strong. Gotta look strong and tough. Big strong shoulders. She can carry you. She can drop you. You're at her mercy. When you're in her arms, you're at her mercy. She does what she wants. She's wild. She ain't domestic. Give her a bowl of milk? Oh, she don't care about it. Let's just get those hands on there. Just flash those out. It's fairly in the distance. It's only going to be a sketch. We're not going to go all the way on this. We just want this to be a video that's just us talking, having fun, drawing this silly little thing, and talking a little bit about the philosophy of drawing, but with very little of that philosophy business, because we're too busy drawing to talk about it. Let's hide those. Look at all those dots and spots I've put on there. Move that there. Let's have a look at her. Not too bad. Let's remove those rulers. I don't know why they were there. The whole video's ruined. Alright, time to start from scratch. Delete the whole thing. Get rid of it. Not really, though. That would have been a good place to do a cold ending. But unfortunately, I have to continue, so... let's have a look. Just add a bit of shading on her head. Not too much, just a little bit. There we go. Do we want to add detail to her eye? Oh, maybe. Let's just do that there. We'll thicken those whiskers out a little bit in order to do a little trick here. Where we're going to take our wrist and we're going to make it super, super thin. And we're just going to go through those again. Let's redo that one. Right through those. There you go. Round eyes, very round. Some shading there, and then put a nice spot there like that. There we go. And that, when you fill in that eye and make it just right, it's not hard. All it takes, put the pupil, a little bit of shading around the top. That's the shadow of the eyelid, and then a nice little pure white reflection mark. Maybe another one. One on the other side as well. The more you add, the less the effect. So keep it simple. There we go. It's not too bad. Get those collarbones Just again, not too strong, just some indication there. And let's get some indication on here. Not too bad, not too bad at all. Just put a little bit of wire coming off there. And finish that up nicely like that. Boom. There we go. That's a fairly simple sketch. You know, no difficulty. We had our theme, a puma minotaur. Female. A female puma minotaur. Do we want to do fur and things on the arm? Yeah, we could do fur and things on the arm, you know. All kinds of things you can do. Just add that on real simple. There we go. Real simple. Very easy, very easy. She's an impressive lady, very impressive. Add a little bit of shading just to finish off, and let's call it right there. I think that should be the end of it, otherwise we'll be here forever. I'm gonna put a little signature right there. 2016. Finally gotten used to that. It's 2016. It's nearly over. Yep, that's what happens. Alright. Now we're gonna quickly, I'm gonna cut away and we're gonna add some highlights to this to make it pop a little bit more, and then we'll come back to say goodbye. So stick around for a second longer. Alright, and I think that's the final take of it. We just added just a single layer, nothing but white. It's an effect I like to use, and I think she looks alright. I think she turned out just fine. I think we accomplished what we set out to do, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it didn't go on too long. It is just a simple, easy to edit format for me to do, so that I can actually get videos done, as opposed to no videos at all, because I would like to get back into the YouTube business. So maybe if I do one of these, you know, maybe every week, every 2 weeks, something like that, and who knows, maybe I could do even more than that. So for now, we'll just stick to this sort of thing. Leave in the comments if there's anything you guys in particular would like to know about, to watch, to see me do, you know, any questions you have, anything you can think of, just say so in the comments. Otherwise, hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, I'll see you all later. Bye.